Hello everybody and welcome back. We are here for another week. We are at round 7 now of the NSP SMX Championship. We are going way across the globe. We are in Brazil today, which I think is the first ever Supercross track we've had in this game that is located in Brazil. Again, this is a fully custom fantasy track created by Aiden. Now, those of you with a good knowledge, I would say, of real-life motocross, as we ride around this track, I think you'll be able to guess what track it's based on in terms of the floor plan, and I'll give you a very, very large tip. Jet Lawrence cross-jumping and taking out Austin Faulkner. Pretty sure that's the round that we're all thinking of right now. If not, I'm completely mistaken. I apologise. And this track is a tighter and twistier one than a couple of rounds that we've seen, but I'll try and do my best to showcase. There's some different line options, but it's not a case of, oh, it's just a massive long rhythm section, so there's different lines, but there's little techie bits here and there, reasons to open up corners or hold tight, whether you want to triple or double. There's one or two big boy lines, which I haven't quite got worked out just yet. We'll see how it goes. And right now, I don't know if you can tell too well, I'm rocking the bike of the British Virgin Islands, which is one of the teams that qualified for the MX Bikes of Nations, and I just wanted to do a quick little thank you as we get into this for everybody's support yesterday during that. It was very, very good fun. I really enjoyed the experience overall, and again, thank you to Narvo for letting me join him in the booth. Hopefully that's not the last one of them that I ever do, because it was so much more enjoyable and a lot more stress-free than playing the game myself and trying to compete for it myself as well. One thing that I never realised until yesterday when I looked at a stat sheet that Chicken had made is, in terms of MX Bikes of Nations podiums, so not individual podiums I don't think, but your country getting a podium as a whole, I actually have the most. So I've been part of 4 Great Britain MX of Nations teams, and I've got 4 podiums there, so very exciting stuff. Right now, the USA has just overtaken Team Great Britain for the most winningest nations team. We were 2-2 going into yesterday, and now the USA are up 3-2. So very excited to see what next year brings. And it was really exciting racing the whole time as well. And for the first time ever, New Zealand had a chance at a podium, and then also Australia done really well, looking to they almost won, to be honest. It was only until the last race that the wheels kind of fell off with some lackluster results, but really fun time. So I'm hoping that when it comes time to commentate over this race later tonight, hopefully you guys can stop by and say hello and enjoy the stream. I'm hoping that it will be just as entertaining of races, and there's a little bit of a mix-up going into tonight's race. So usually how MX Bikes works is, when it comes to championship points, it's just every round counts. You know, if there's 10 rounds in a series, all your 10 rounds go towards your points, whoever has the most wins. However, something that Aiden has done, which I am a big fan of, and I would like to see it implemented in more championships than just this one, is he has made it so 2 rounds do not count. Now, this is something that I don't know about local championships across the pond, like people in the US. But in the UK, when I was growing up, like at a younger level of racing, we would always be able to drop our worst result of the championship. So say you was ill or sick one week and you just couldn't ride, it wouldn't hinder you. So as long as it was just the once, you could drop that round from the score. So out of 10 rounds, your best 9 rounds are the ones that actually count. Now what this means in MX Bikes terms is, in this championship there's 11 rounds, I believe it is, and 9 of them are going to count. So they're able to drop 2. So what you'll see is, at the moment we've got people, so we've got Cam, who's in the lead right now, he's done every round, but then we've got people like Splash, Rock, we've also got Rush as well, for example. They have all missed a round, maybe one of them has missed 2, I'm not too sure at this point. But if you take them rounds away that they've missed, the points actually get really close again. So for a championship implications, it's huge. So I'm really a big fan of that, and it more so means not so much quantity as there is quality. I'd rather see the fastest guys for the most part of the season, be the ones that win rather than the guys that are just there every single week without fail because they just have nothing else to do. You know, MX Bikes is their thing on a Sunday night. So I'm very intrigued to see how that shakes the points up. For someone like, I think Brock, for example, rides quite a lot in real life on Sundays. I don't think he can do every single one. So we'll see if they can get him back into some championship contention. And hopefully that means we can get some more fiery red plate battles as well, because we've had some great drama in this championship over the last few weeks. So let's go to the track a little bit more. It's a very orangey reddish kind of hue on this one, which does feel very Brazilian to me. Now this first section here, after the finish line, you can either, let me show you like a direct line of sight. As you land this finish line, you can either just go dead straight to the inside here, and you go double and double into the corner, but you jump quite high into the corner. Or you can just check up for a split second, go to the outside of the track here, and then you can go step on, step off, which is a quicker line in the rhythm, but of course then you lose a little bit of time going into the corner. So I'm very curious to see what ends up being the fastest line there. Through here you can go triple triple, or you can go double triple and then double around the turn and land down here. This is just triple into the corner. It's quite self-explanatory. Here you can either step on, off, and then double round the turn, or you can go step over and then I think triple and then roll around the corner. You can triple into this section if you get a good drive, that is. I did not get that very well whatsoever. This is something to bear in mind. Say you're in a battle with somebody, obviously you'll want to hug the inside to try and defend your line. If you hug the inside here, the best you can do coming out of this corner is double. You cannot triple from the inside. So it's one of them things. Do you risk going a little bit wider to try and triple in and have someone go up the inside of you and block past you going into the rhythm? Or do you try and hug the inside, but then you're forced to double in, so then whoever's going around the outside of you will have a better line through the rhythm afterwards? I don't know. Same with this section here. You can either double to the inside of this corner, and then you've got to do a little tyre tap afterwards, or you can double to the outside here and get like a clean triple over, and you need to get that clean so you can then hit this big double across the start straight. This section, you can either go on-off double, or you can go step over triple. I'll try and show the step over triple next lap. Then through here, I just think the fast line is going to be triple. I overjumped it there, but triple and then on-off single. Now, if you get the triple in really, really clean, there is a chance you might be able to step over the tabletop after that. I've managed to get my front wheel over it. I've not managed to get my back wheel over it clean though. So send this and downside this, because then you'd be able to double into this corner and have a really clean run through the whoops. Because at the moment, the fast line is you have to single into the corner, which means you don't get a good line up for the whoops whatsoever. So you're going to have to try and practice your throttle control a little bit there. Now, that could be one of them lines that once the erode comes into play a little bit and it kind of builds the jump face up and sends you further, that line might be a bit more doable. But for early on in the race, and at least in qualifying as well, when there's no erode, it's going to be interesting to see what lines people tend to gravitate to. One thing, I always find this tricky. You've got to get a little tyre tap, and then there you go, stretch off that, and then you can double into the corner. Let's follow this a little bit further around so we can triple in easily. And then you want to go step over, and then quad again, or attack the back end, my bad. So you want to land here, and then you can double kind of up and over this mound, land here, follow this round. I do think it's going to be quite one-lined here, going to this outside and tripling over. The inside is it's a little bit techy. It's a bit slidey with current 450 tractions. Then you've got to step over the table, triple through here. I do believe that'll be the fastest line as well. But if you can downside this triple really nicely, you might, just might, be able to get that full stretch there. Alternatively, you can just choose to drop off that tabletop and then still hit the double out anyway. So round to the left, little single, back over the over-under table here. So it's quite a short lap time on this track. I want to say it's one of the shortest ones we've had so far in the season. But he's packed quite a lot of food for thought in a short amount of track. So he's making you think about what lines you really want to take. To be honest, if I was still competing, it's one of them things where I'll be like, you know what, Cam, Brock, Splash, you go and work out what the fastest line is, and I'll just follow you. That's probably the best way of going about it for most people. But for people like Cam, Brock, and Splash, good luck trying to work out what the best line is. So there you go, double, triple, step over, and then triple all the way into the corner. So that's the alternative line there. And then see if I can get this tyre tap. So double inside, little wheelie, tyre tap over. So it's fairly straightforward, but you have to imagine if you're trying to do that at race pace, you've got pressure from people behind you, maybe you've got someone sat right in front of you as well. It's going to be a little bit difficult to execute that tyre tap each and every lap. So I'm, again, very curious to see what these guys can do, but they are pretty much the best in the game. So if anyone will be able to do it on a consistent basis, it will be the guys that are competing. And I'm hoping that the sign-ups will be just as good as they have been the last 2 rounds of this series, because it's made just the commentating so much fun. There's just been good battles all around. One thing that's quite funny about open Supercross classes, by open I mean no region lock, so people from Europe or people from America can race against each other, is we know what the ping's like in this game. So usually that means the first corner is just absolute chaos, so it's very rare that the fastest person on track gets the whole shot. So usually we see some sort of charge through the pack, and again, it just makes for better racing. And yeah, again, I'm not the person that has to deal and suffer with bad ping, so I get to sit in the commentary booth and have a good time with you guys watching it unfold rather than dealing with it myself. So that is round 7 here at Brazil. I actually don't know the name of this stadium. Let me have a quick little check, because I do have Aiden's message in my DMs. This is the Arena Mane Garincha. I'm hoping I am pronouncing that correct. I know we have a few Brazilian fans on the channel, so please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong there. But W Brazil, they get a little bit of love for a Supercross in their country. So thank you very much for watching. If you are competing in this later today, I wish you the very best of luck, and see you later on in the stream if you're not competing. Thank you very much. Catch you in the next video. Peace.